Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You are watching StarSeries. This is, of course, Season 7 still, and we are in day 17 of the group stages. We're gonna see Duza taking on VirtusPro, VirtusPro on the Dire side, Duza on the Radiant side, and of course with me is not only Vikrmont, my co-caster, but also the person that you will not hear. It is our statsman, it is Nahaz, but of course, Vikrmont, welcome back.
Good to be back, Shearer. Had an interesting start to the day. Navi certainly, they do take the off-season less seriously. They don't get too bent out of shape if they lose. I think they will be surprised. I think a lot of us were surprised. I thought that Aspera missed their moment, but they did use the power of the quad core later on, so they were very good. So we started the game off with a surprising game. Let's see if Duza can surprise us as well. VP, of course, are in some respect a softer target than Navi. They haven't quite gelled fully as a team, and I think they also have some internal questions about captaining. So when the team started, there was this big question of, is there one person who can exert authority over this team? Or is it like a bunch of egos that are going to conflict? And I do see Light of Heaven drafting this game, where previously it was Goblak drafting. So I wonder if that question has sort of been re-raised.
Yeah, you're right. They have been, well, fluctuating a little bit in the results. We, by the way, have an IO making it through, so we'll see if VirtusPro wants to have that. But VirtusPro, they are sitting on 9 games played thus far. They have 4 wins, 5 losses. So they're definitely not doing all too well here in StarSeries, and or at least not as well as you might expect from this star-studded team. But of course, we all know it takes time to get used to each other. It takes time to actually be a team rather than just a star-studded team, a star-studded lineup. And StarSeries is, of course, a perfect opportunity for you to try and put your theory into practice. So we'll see what they come up with today, of course, especially since they are trying out now Light of Heaven drafting, who is taking a long time to think about if he wants to have the IO picked up or not. We have an OD banned out as well as the Weaver and the Alchemist. But we'll see what he goes for here. We know that Duza always likes to have the IO go through, by the way. They're the team that just lets it go.
They do let it go a lot more than most teams do, and then they pick Doom.
Yep, and Nature's
who's
Prophet.
Actually pretty good against. Yeah, Nature's Prophet. They do love that Nature's Prophet from mid to the best. Yeah, that's one possible. I feel like a lot of these teams are transitioning. Like this season of Starladder, because the second tier teams are doing so well, it's sort of like we have to find the transitional point in which we can like sort of take them seriously and be like, okay, let's really talk about this team. Let's dive into it. I do foresee a somewhat problem where I'm not sure how deep mid the best's like hero pool goes. Like we really haven't seen him do that well on any hero besides Nature's Prophet, so they probably need to resolve that. They do rely on Doom very heavily, which I think that they're moving away from it somewhat. Like when we first saw Duza, they were picking Doom like first and second, right?
Yeah.
Which is a liability. Like it's a liability to pick Doom that early. Now, they'll take it in second phase if it's available, which is, if you want a Doom, that's the right time to pick him. And they're okay with it being banned as well. So I think Duza are definitely working on variegating their play up a bit.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna see how VirtusPro is gonna try to turn Doom against them, though, because, of course, VirtusPro picking up the Doom, I haven't seen them playing that often, so we'll see how they deal with it. Duza, though, I mean, we have seen them play the Visage quite often. Capron, of course, able to get a lot of kills on the hero in the last couple of games that he played with that. We'll see if he can do the same thing again. We have got a Darkseer for might be the best thus far. And I think Duza is really one of the teams that you kind of have to look out for. They were a Dota 1 team. They hadn't really shown that much in Dota 2, like anything at all. I believe this is actually their first real showing that we see of them. And they've been doing really well, and they have been having a steady lineup. Like, if you're talking about rushing upcoming teams, you see a lot of stand-ins all over the place. I don't think I've ever seen a stand-in for Duza just yet. They're sitting there with together, just as the same team, and doing really well. And also just really well up against teams that you would not expect them to do well against. And they might not be winning everything, and they definitely aren't. They are 5-5 in the scene right now in the StarSeries, but they have definitely had the potential to upset some teams and definitely made some of the bigger teams sweat up against them.
Duza have brought like 4 of the best 5 games of the season so far too. Like their games are really fun to watch, even when they lose, because also they're a chance-taking team. and not just in the typical, like, we're constantly just going to rush, like, face rush, try to get kills way. They go all in on map objectives, too. Like, Duza sometimes, and I'm just like, wow, I did not think that they would go for that. Like, they go Roche when all 5 players on the opposing team are up and, like, near Roche, and they're not favored to take it. They'll go, like, there was that one game where they went for tier 3, and I was just like, what?
And they were still tier 1s up.
Do you remember that? Yeah.
Was it that one?
And, like,
because, yeah, that was like, okay, you go mid,
yeah.
while there's still tier 1s up on the side lanes?
It was top, I think. It was top. They went top tier 3, and there was still a tier 1 bot up, and the entire enemy team was up, and I think they didn't have buybacks, and they just got 5 wiped. And I was like, you know what? I respect your decision. So yeah, they're a chance-taking team.
Yeah.
I think they can stand to improve. They're probably not going to make the playoffs, but they've really impressed. I think of all the new teams post TI3, I don't count Kaipi because they existed before.
Yeah.
Duza is probably the most impressive to me.
Poseidon doing really well as well, I have to say. Although it's not really a new team.
Poseidon's, yeah. Poseidon is like old VP, basically.
Yeah. With, with this game, Duza's gonna have 11 games played, by the way. They have played most of every team here. VirtusPro, though, also having played quite a few games already 9, so they're gonna hit towards 10 soon as well, and they really, like, if you, like, okay, VirtusPro probably not gonna make the playoffs anymore either, unless some teams cancel, or unless some teams start heavily losing from this point onward, but you kinda gotta keep your head up, and, you know, just try to end as high as possible, and I feel like they should just, they have their reputation at stake here, right? They have a reputation being the VirtusPro. They got, like, the name got invited to the international. They have got a studded lineup. You need to be able to have your reputation, because otherwise, like, your results don't show for it. So reputation is everything, and therefore they can't fall too low here on the StarSeries. So they really need this win, I think. We have got Jakiro picked up, so that will be the one that Duza goes for, with VirtusPro picking up Alina. Chen and the Shadow Fiend banned out by Duza, and we have got the Lifestealer and the Nature's Prophet banned out by VirtusPro. I'm curious to see what Duza goes for in terms of carry, because we've seen Limbo on Doom and Tiny, and more of those sturdy carry heroes. But they haven't picked up anything for him just yet, so let's see what Limbo actually gets to play in this one. By the way, we also still don't have a hero for Legion, also a hero that, or a player that we have seen on mostly the same heroes. There were Dragon Knights, of course. There was OD a couple of times and Beastmaster, and I believe that's about it.
Yeah. Oh yes, like the Spearbreaker.
I mean,
Jakiro Darkseer, they have a really good beginnings of a lineup. The thing is, Doom can play havoc with these delicate, like, we want to combo off certain abilities lineups. So the Darkseer Jakiro is a little bit flimsy because Doom can throw the Doom on the Darkseer. I like Spiritbreaker. It's interesting that this is going to be a core Spiritbreaker. We've seen him more often in the 4 role, but he is able to reward farm. He really likes attack speed, for instance. They're still shopping for a mid. I would love to see, well, Troll Warlord here. Does he work? Yeah. I think Troll could work here. And Troll plus Spiritbreaker is actually really good.
Okay, just by the way, heads up in the chat, if you see subscribers saying that there is some kind of giveaway for me and the name is something with Shiva in it, like Admin Shiva just now, don't click on the link. Those are actually scam bots, so just so you're aware, don't click. Don't trust subscribers. So, we have got indeed a puck for VirtusPro. I would like to see a Troll, I fully agree. Would be funny, and I think we've seen them doing it before. We still have one ban in for VirtusPro, so they might just go for it. But I like the Spiritbreaker. I like that he's not going to be a support, because this is Limbo Spiritbreaker, still a tanky support, tanky carry for him, and not a very conventional carry either. It kind of fits. Limbo plays Doom carry, Tiny carry, no, Spiritbreaker carry. One of the heroes that is just able to run in, hit stuff, and he's going to be fine. I think it fits the pattern. Dragon Knight still picked up for Legion though, so they stick to their guns for that one.
Yeah, it gives them another stun, which is very useful. Also, doesn't really lose that badly to puck. He can just sit back, use the Dragon Breath spell. It's a very boring hero to play mid, but it's also very solid. And so Duza, I don't mind their lineup. I think they don't have that much to follow up the. I mean, Vacuum Ice Path Macropyre is by itself a good combo. They don't have that much that can go with it, unless Spirit Breaker builds Aghanim Scepter, which would be sick, because that's an underrated item a little bit.
Slightly. I don't know if I would call it underrated or just maybe slightly too expensive for what it does, but we'll see what they go for. We have got no IO, by the way.
It's like a new ability.
True.
You can't put a price on that, Shiver. It's priceless. You can't even buy it with MasterCard. You can buy it with 4,200 gold, cash only at the secret shop.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I'm not expecting this for coming off from Limbo though, but we'll see how he does. We have got, of course, like I just want to point out, there's no IO. There's not going to be an IO. I don't think VirtusPro still wants to pick it up. This is basically Duza's doing. They're known to play up against IO. They are known to have a strategy against it. And VirtusPro says, you know what? We don't really care. So they're taking a lesson from the Chinese and just ignoring it altogether.
Yeah, and it's funny because Duza haven't picked up a lineup that would be traditionally regarded as particularly amazing against IO. But it's fine. I mean, a lot of these heroes are difficult to gank. Jakiro, not really. Visage, but Spirit Breaker obviously can just charge away. Dragon Knight can stun and run. So yeah, I think it's pretty tanky. I like VP's lineup as well. Interesting that they decided to go with the Phantom Lancer in the end. It is Light of Heaven playing the 1 role as well, so lots of shuffling going on. Resolution now on the 3. That's... I don't know. I don't think Resolution was playing poorly on the 1 role. I thought he was adapting to it quite well. But
maybe they felt
sure
like Light of Heaven wasn't doing well on the 3 role.
Well, that is an argument that can be made, certainly. There were some games in which he wasn't making as much of an impact as I think he would like. So yeah, that's possible. Interesting lineup definitely for VP.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if I agree that something needed to be happening so that they changed their lineup or at least their role slightly. I'm not sure if they played long enough to realize that it was or was not working. But they are trying something, they know that something's wrong, and that's already enough for me to know that they're going to be doing something against it. And this is going to be Duza's move. We've seen them doing this all the time, and they're actually going to find an S. In comes a charge, in comes a dual breath, Light Striker Ray still hits upon 2, but Limbo still hitting up on an S, and in comes a Soul Assumption for his blood drawn, and Godlike gonna be completely blocked in here. He can't escape, tries to go high ground. Is there enough damage? I think there is. That's a double kill for Capron's Visage, and I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Capron's Visage is taking all the kills as predicted.
Yeah, what is it? 8 kills, 13 assists? Was that the average?
Something like that, but it's it's very crazy. Of course, Visage is a hero that you Visage is a hero that you can kill steal with very easily, so that kind of helps. But let's see who is playing what. We have got Duza there on the Radiant side, of course, in case you're wondering what you're watching. This is, of course, StarSeries, Day 17, Season 7, and we are in Game 2 of the 3 that we're going to see today. Of course, after that, we're going to see the EMS Cup 3. So make sure you tune or stick around regardless. But MLB the Best will play the Darkseer here. Managed to get himself a double damage wound. Will be on the safe lane, solo lane, and we'll be up against the Doom. We'll be having, oh wait a second, we'll be having a minute of a go again. Yep, and S might be going down again. Getting charged up, killed off again. That's going to be unstable, still being brought down. At least VirtusPro gets himself the first kill on the board, but it might not be over. Capron doesn't have money, it needs 10 more mana. What the hell? For a Soul Assumption, can't get it. In the end, it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Extremely expensive.
Yeah.
The spell costs like 1 million mana, unfortunately. And they don't have really, like, it's not like they have a Keeper of the Light or something to give him a large source of mana.
True.
It's a good start, though, for Duza. And, I guess I'll introduce VirtusPro.
I wasn't done. I only introduced one so far.
Done. Sorry, I thought you got everybody. Nope. My bad.
Unstable on the Jakiro here with the tri lane with Capron, of course, Visage, and Limbo on the Spirit Breaker. And then last, it is Legion playing the Dragon Knight as expected in the mid lane up against G. And yeah, now you can. Go.
Alright, so VirtusPro is still seeking to sort of prove out that their all-star lineup has what it takes. Resolution will be taking up the bottom lane against the Darkseer as the Doom, a hero that we're seeing more and more. G is continuing to play the mid. Here we see him on Puck against the the Dragon Knight. And then the top lane, Light of Heaven on the 1 role as Phantom Lancer, supported by Godblack on the Naga Siren and NS on the Lina. I'm going to be watching this Lina pretty carefully. It's a hero that we've seen fade out of the scene There was a time which
They might go for it again. They have another soul subject. They throw it out up on Goblack while they go for an S. Maybe slight miscommunication here. Nice double light strike array on Sable, trying to get himself out of there. Light of Heaven running away as well. He does have another lance up, but didn't want to try to commit to on Sable.
I'm not sure why they soul assumption to Goblack instead of NS.
I think it was slight miscommunication because NS would have died from that.
He probably would have. It's unfortunate. They want to be getting kills this lane.
That might be enough though. And Ness in a lot of trouble, but we're hit away from dying. Light Striker, we miss it, and Sable the one to go down in the end. And Ness, he is able to run for it. He lives. Goblack lives. I feel like they could have gotten something out of that.
All Jakiro needed to do was accept that he was going to die and get the last hit on Lina. All he needed to do was sit there and get one more auto attack. He could have. There were no more stuns available. That's, it was an unnecessary giveaway. I feel bad. I think Duza have such a cool lineup, but, I mean, Spirit Breaker will be outclassed by Phantom Lancer sooner or later, so they can't have a bad early game. So they have to be very careful from here on in.
And Spirit Breaker is also, of course, not the one that has died so far. He is sitting on the top lane. I mean, he's not getting that much farm. He only got 2 last hits, so he's really, you know, they're at least shutting him down slightly. But he hasn't died yet.
Phantom Lancer? Phantom Lancer, you mean?
Yeah, Phantom Lancer.
Yeah.
He hasn't died yet, so it's not that bad for him just yet. Because as long as he's getting levels, which he is, when he gets levels, if he gets level 6, he'll still farm fairly fast, of course, with his illusion. So as long as he gets levels, he's okay for now.
Mid the best, pressuring resolution bit under the tower, gets of course that soul ring for Darkseer. Still has 2 salves, so he can actually, I think he can afford to play quite aggressively here and just try to pressure resolution very heavily. Just keep walking up with the Ion Shell, even can take some tower hits, I believe, just to harass resolution down some more.
Oh, look at that. Doom, 10 for 4 in StarSeries. I think a lot of those are for Duza.
They do play him a lot, and the Spera plays him. Doom's very, very strong, honestly. He's just the multifarious uses of the Doom spell, especially since it's buff, means that it's actually pretty rare that Doom is an especially bad pick.
Yeah, we have got Visage in the meantime. He's got Boots still with the 2 kills that he started off with. He's the one that is doing best there on the top lane in terms of supports. Level 3, I mean, getting levels on an aggressive trial is something that will be very tough to do. We already have Goblack level 3 and an S level 2, and the Jakiro still sitting at level 2 as well. So the fact that Unstable as well as Capron are actually even on the supports of VirtusPro is pretty impressive, as we have Legion getting harassed away from the last hits, and Light of Heaven actually farming a bit. I'm not gonna say he's farming okay, because he only has 7 last hits, but he is farming, and that's an improvement from where he was.
Denied.
It is an improvement, and the concern for Duza is G is quickly, he's moving towards a point in which he's comfortable rotating around. He's not really ahead on XP, Dragon Knight is doing fine in that respect, but he is substantially ahead on farm, 30 for 6 to 20 for 0. I mean, Dragon Knight's not a hero you pick to win the lane, he's a hero you pick to not lose the lane. But, as soon as G feels good about rotating and generating kill opportunities, you could see this aggressive tri-lane just instantaneously melt in the face of a determined puck jump in.
Yeah, so far G not rotating yet, but you're right, it will be a scary moment. And Duza, they kind of seem like they lost some spirit here on the top lane. They haven't been as aggressive, of course, it hasn't really been working out all that much when they were aggressive. Lane is pushing in, so Limbo will get some more farm here, but they have just let Light of Heaven get like triple or actually 4 times the amount of farm as he had before, so they are kind of loosening the reins here on the top lane, and I feel like that might be troublesome. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, there's a Doom up, and it might be the best. He tries to run for it. Resolution is going to die if this. There is, I think, this is going to be a kill regardless. Yeah. Oh, unless there's a TP. Capron is going to try to deny his teammate. Might be able to get something going here. Actually, the Doom doesn't kill him off, and there comes a surge. Capron, is he going to get himself the 3rd kill of the game? Looks like he might. The Iron Shell will maybe get the last hit, though. No. I like how he's... I like how he stayed back. Oh, wait a second, on top lane, Limbo getting stunned up. Dragon Slave there as well. He tries to run for it. Looks like he'll be okay. The moment that Capron, of course, showed his face bottom, VirtusPro knew that they were ahead in numbers. Actually, Gio also coming around there from behind. He has a double damage too, and he's got full HP, full mana, and this is gonna be 2-0, I think, in favor of VirtusPro. And comes a Dream Co-op on 2, 1 already down, Unstable, not able to do anything. We'll go down as well. Double kill for G, as expected, and that's indeed... Well, that's expected. That's the first rotation. Do you think that Capron waited intentionally to not let the Iron Shell hit the Doom and for him to get the last hit before the Darkseer could get close himself?
Duh. Why the hell? Yeah, he definitely likes getting these Visage kills. That's all I have to say about
Yeah.
that. But yes, they actually pay dearly for saving the Darkseer there. They essentially traded Jakiro and Spiritbreaker to keep Darkseer alive. Now, that's kind of oversimplifying. It's not clear that even if Visage was there, that G wouldn't have been able to generate some pressure with the rotation. But it is possible that they would have first, say, Naga. So
Yeah, oh.
it's an interesting choice.
Charge is going off of Nessa as this creep still tries to kill off the Naga Siren. And Nessa's, well, maybe running. Oh, unless he gets bashed.
Nice.
There's the slow as well. That's going to be a kill. So
Wow.
Assumption, oh, almost enough to kill off Goblak, but he lives on 18 HP. Capron in the meantime, he might actually be dead. He still has a Soul Assumption throughout, can turn around, throw it on Light of Heaven, pops a Salve. They might try and turn and burn this. In comes Puck though. Dodging the orb, that's at least nice. Salve already ticked off again by the right click. G might be in some trouble, is able to dodge the Soul Assumption at least. But if he gets bashed again, he's dead. Never mind, no bash needed for the kill to happen as Capron still alive! Still alive for now, and Ness will be able to get the kill in the end, but he might actually die for it. Of course, it all started with him dying, but it might end with him dying as well. Still goes for another Light Strike array, but it doesn't matter. Unstable with a double kill. 4 kills done here on the top lane. And only 1 Visage given for that one. The first time that Capron actually died. Of course, it's a killing spree gold that he gives away. So that's a bit more gold going the way of the Lina. A dominating streak, rather. 404 gold for Lina, but of course she still died twice for that to happen.
Yeah, and Capron, in the end, it's completely fine for him to die at the very tail end of that, because he had used every single point of mana. Like, he had managed to get every Soul Assumption out, he was eking out every ounce of value from his life, so we were just making fun of him for that killsteal bottom, but that was just immaculately played by him. The little, like, juke, the little dodge he did here to make sure that his salve stayed for, like, another half second instead of getting hit by Puck Orb. Oh, now Light of Heaven's in trouble. This is really... Oh, no, they do have detection. He's dead.
Yeah, he's got dust enough. That's gonna be also a level 6 Visage, by the way. Before anybody of the other supports
Legion.
are level 6. Legion, you're dead? Dream Coil used for that?
That's not a good trade for VP, though.
No, they lose their Phantom Lancer and therefore delay the game. And okay, they get a kill on the Dragonite for it, but Dragonite is doing okay. He's got his treads if he wants to. He's level 8. He's got his Dragon form, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him just trying to stick with his team and get himself some towers. The way that Duza normally does, of course. I mean, they at some point group up and say, you know what, we're gonna take some towers. And the way this is going, they actually could make that work. Limbo could charge in from afar if he wants to try and make a kill happen, try to get a gank, take a tower. In the meantime, MIB almost has his mechanism. Yeah. But yeah, who doesn't want to have trolling?
I'm kind of serious. Like, I think DK is a fine hero, and I think he's good in this scenario, but he's got good armor, but VP can just blow him up even without the armor. Oh, here he goes.
Goes for Resolution, gets a Dragon Tool. Resolution does have a Doom, though. He might try to turn around this. In comes G. Whoa, Laguna Blade. That's going to be 1 kill going the way of Puck. Not sure if the Doom was actually needed there, but it was still a pretty strong one nonetheless. In the meantime, though, that means that there's 3 people bottom, and that it is going to be free reign for Duza to go top. They go for Light of Heaven again. The dust already used. They find him, they ice path him, and they kill him off. Worthy trade for Duza once again, especially if they get a tower off the back of this as well.
Yes. It's a pretty reasonable trade. At this point, Light of Heaven has 21 last hits and 3 deaths to his name. So they won't have to worry about Phantom Lancer for a while. Eventually, they'll need to worry about him again. The new thing to be panicked about is Puck, right? He's 3-1 and 2. He's got 1,300 gold, so he'll hit his Blink Dagger probably without too much issue. And since Doom is having an okay game as well with the mechanism, VP do present a very credible 5-man threat if Puck is there and Doom is there.
Yeah,
they're going to try to bait with Light of Heaven, maybe? And then just bring in Doom, because they're smoked.
Well, they're going to be too late, I think, because Light of Heaven is... There's no dust anymore, because they already used both.
Bad word.
Yep, they still have another one, right? Oh, in comes a song. They already used the other one, actually. Goblak.
Yeah.
Singing his Song of Destruction, but in comes Dragonite. He's actually TPing top. They want to try and take this fight. We're missing the Darkseer, though. In comes a Dream Coil, up on 2, unstable. Already taking a lot of damage there. Will be the first one to get brought down. Down goes the Spirit Breaker as well, with the Laguna Blade helping out. Spirit Breaker buys back. Will look to charge back top. First a TP. Capron spawns new familiars. Tries to run for it. Has a Soul Assumption, but goes down before he can use it. In comes Spirit Breaker again. And actually Nether strikes up on Resolution, tries to go for him, but Resolution has got that mechanism, keeps him up for a little while longer. Do they have enough damage? Legion doesn't have a Dragon form for another 4 seconds and might actually die before that. Down he goes! And Ness with the kill. Resolution getting himself out of there. Spirit Breaker, his buyback, not successful whatsoever. And VirtusPro get themselves out of there with no casualties, apart from a tier 1 tower bottom, because Darkseer, of course, thought that at least he could do something.
I think Light of Heaven died again. Pretty sure he did. Yeah.
Did he
Light of Heaven still died. So they do lose 1, but they take 4 and get a buyback. Disastrous fight for Duza. Gotta point out that G is playing extremely well. This is a player who's come under a lot of criticism from LGD and then through VP, but that was excellent by him. I actually think that fight only goes the way it does because of his intervention. Very well timed Dreamcoil, very well timed Waning Rift. He interrupted 2 Nether Strikes from Spirit Breaker by using the proper timings on his spells. So that ensured that Spirit Breaker wasn't able to dodge a lot of damage as well as start with a big stun on an important target. And NS also played extremely well there. He landed every Light Strike array, he got a good Laguna Blade off to kill Spirit Breaker the first time. In general, Duza, that was a very, very bad fight. Like, they didn't just lose all the heroes, even though they did. They also lost the grip on the game that they were trying to establish.
Yeah. All of a sudden, VirtusPro has got a pretty decent fighting chance again, even without... Oh, in comes the charge. Wait a second. And Ness will be the target first. Still throws out a Light Strike array, but the Nether Strike's still there to pick him up. MIB uses the mechanism.
Nice
Vacuum there as well. Darkseer wall goes through, and that's going to be G with the haste rune. Tries to do as much as he can. MIB still getting doomed up. Phantom Lancer already dead. No surprise there. Capron, of course, with the kill, because he gets that. Tower, by the way, gets taken down by creeps, so not going to be... denied, and denied it will be MIB, even though, of course, G tried to get the last hit, but was able to blink himself away before it turned south for them. Resolution still in the ice path, stuck around for too long. Is there going to be a Dragon Tail? Charge. Yes, there is. Not even needed. The charge came in, and the kill was there. This is going to be a fight that puts VirtusPro back.
Whew.
The entire top fight just got nullified. The tier 1 tower died. VirtusPro died. Good fight for Duza after previous fight, especially.
Yeah, Duza, they do all this... I mentioned this in a previous game of theirs, but I want to reiterate. They're not just like clowny Russian team that dives a lot in fights. They make a lot of decisions in the heat of the moment. Like, usually teams that are very aggressive, they are aggressive, and everybody likes to just fight, but they don't always make the best decisions moment to moment. During that fight, they made so many good decisions. One that I want to highlight is Visage has the full stack of Soul Assumptions available. There's a Doom right in front of him, and he doesn't use it. Instead, he walks past the tier 1 tower, locates Light of Heaven, who's about to leave the fight, and last hits him with the Soul Assumption. And you can be like, haha, Visage stealing kills, but they would not have gotten that kill if he had waited or if he had used the Soul Assumption and depleted all of his charges. So it's just really smart decision-making moment to moment by them that leads to them taking fights against teams that probably think, like, yeah, we out-individually skill this team. There's no reason why we would win a big fight, but Duza can actually scrap with very high-level teams and do fine. Yeah,
we've seen it, of course, before in games as well. They will maybe lose their tier 1 tower mid, but they might get a tier 1 in return for it, and that would be the last tier 1 of VirtusPro. Well, it's only the first one that they pick up on the side of Duza, so fairly okay trade. I guess it's still quite a big of a loss in terms of strategical positioning, but since they still have their bottom lane towers up, it's not that bad. And they have, of course, got just the advantage of being ahead overall in terms of map control, because that Spirit Breaker, when he charges, VirtusPro runs at the moment.
And for sure, and they're right to do so. Until that tower kill, Light of Heaven's Phantom Lancer was the lowest net worth hero in the game.
Yep. Oh,
which
he's
is
back
shocking
again.
to me. He's lower than Jakiro. That's how rough this pick has worked out for VP. They just weren't able to protect it in lane, really. The lane was very, very tough. It would have been even tougher if Duza hadn't made a couple early mistakes. Now, they are taking towers, which is good.
Yeah, I guess for VirtusPro, I mean, they're already behind anyway, so them giving Duza towers is not that big of a deal compared to them able to take some gold on the map, because they really need to have their core items up. So since they're already behind anyway, they might as well continue to be behind and just try to take something for themselves. So I agree with this decision, but losing a tier 2 tower is still not going to be a fun fact, because right now we know what Duza does. We know that they don't care about the other towers. If Duza thinks they want to fight, they will go top, they will go tier 3, screw the tier 2s. They will take as high as a target as they can get if they feel like they can. Sometimes not worth it, we know that, but it's definitely scary against this team, especially.
I actually think VirtusPro were probably wrong to trade the tier 1 bot for the tier 2 top, because Now, what happens if Light of Heaven is farming, say, this camp, and Spiritbreaker charges him? You have no way to save him, right? Because you don't have either of these points to TP anybody to. Whereas, sure, you gain some access to the jungle by taking down the Radiant Tier 1, but you're not going to send Light of Heaven down there, right? It's an interesting choice by VP.
Yeah. This is also an interesting stat that we just got. Basically, on VirtusPro, anybody that's playing the hero that he is, apart from Godlike, has a losing record, like, below 50%.
What a grim stat that is.
That's scary.
Resolution?
Yeah, Resolution is
Full
in
man
trouble,
in the
getting
mix.
charged up. In comes the Nether Strike as well. G comes in as well, though, but in comes MB, trying to help his teammate out. Still a vacuum there. Ice Path misses. That will be everybody out safe from VirtusPro. And look at how scared they were. I mean, G, normally the player that will jump in at the first sign of a battle and thinks, oh my god, I can use some skills here, I can try to get some kills. But he doesn't. He just holds back, pulls back, doesn't overextend. That's just a state of this game. If even G is playing careful, then you know what time it is. It is Duza time.
It's Duza time, definitely. That gank, it was smart of them to pull back and not try to double down on it. It could have gone extremely poorly, but they just mech, they peel back, wait for Spiritbreaker. It's pretty low cooldowns. It's 30 seconds until his next Nether Strike. I mean, Duza looks strong right now, but they don't have this game in hand just yet. It's only a level 9 Spiritbreaker, so he is lagging behind the wave. He's doing fine relative to Light of Heaven, but only because Light of Heaven is having a disastrous game.
They have to just continue to keep the pressure on. That's their goal right now.
Dubs. She got that point booster on that Space Cow.
Oh
Just
no!
saying,
It's a Scotty Spiritbreaker.
It could be Scotty. It could be a Scotty.
Just for people.
And he is
I don't
making
think it's
BKB,
Scotty.
which is very smart.
Yeah, definitely, as he just needs 1k for that. In the meantime, VirtusPro just tries to slow down the push. We have got G farming top, we've got Light of Heaven farming bottom, so they are trying to get something out of the time that they know that they can't fight anyway. Duza do end up backing off from the tower. Take the tower, and charge! Where are they charging? Where are they charging? It's a
charging creeps. It's a free TP, basically. He knows he's not going to get anything if he charges G, right? You're talking about Puck here.
I was gonna say, because I thought it was very ballsy, but no.
Right. No, it's not so much ballsy as, like, it just wouldn't work, period. So he just chooses to charge a creep to get the free TP over. Because he didn't have a TP in inventory. Because real space cows don't carry TPs.
Oh. Wow, I didn't know that one. Real space cows.
Well, he has to have room for the Aghanims, right?
True. Very true. We've got a 4-staff up on Jakiro, by the way. This is a rich support, if any. I mean, Capron, of course, is still richer. Capron, who is going for the Aghanims, so he wants to have that third familiar. No surprise there. He is still doing better than the Phantom Lancer in that regard, by the way, in terms of net worth. Phantom Lancer, who's almost got drums, he needs that to fight. I mean, he knows he's not going to be able to get that many items up before the next fight happens, and he wants to be able to participate because he's needed. VirtusPro is not winning 4-on-5 fights anymore. They need to have Phantom Lancer there, not necessarily because he's a Phantom Lancer, but just because he's another body that can do some damage. And not because he brings that much extra as a Phantom Lancer. But good on him if he gets himself the drums, which he actually just did. He will be able to at least contribute a bit more in the fight. And already they're backing off. They just took down some farm in the Radiant jungle. Also placed a ward there, so they're trying to take some control of the map.
Right. I think that's smart. The thing is, the game has gotten quiet because Dragon Knight and Spiritbreaker are farming for their BKB. So Spiritbreaker is 20 gold off. Dragon Knight is... How close is Dragon Knight? Like 400? 500?
300?
I can't find him. Here he is. 250, yeah. So once these two get BKB, I expect Duza to just push very heavily, maybe try to seize a Roshan. The vision situation isn't in their favor, but VP, whenever you're up against a Spiritbreaker, you really want to establish as much vision as possible to know where he's traveling. So, I think they're in pretty good shape. They may try to take a tier 2 tower because VP haven't been bothering to defend towers. Right now, Duza are happy to trade towers because the items they're hitting are a little more important than the ones that VP are hitting. These BKBs are crucial for them.
Yeah, tier 2 tower will be dropping. They will trade though. Their own tier 2 on the top then getting taken down by VirtusPro as well.
They're gonna rush right now and then
yeah. They should be able to take
finish
this.
the BKBs.
I don't think VirtusPro wants to fight this.
I don't think so either. You can see
Ooh, they might
VirtusPro,
force them back
really
though.
Smart. It's really smart of VP. And are they not carrying TPs? Jakiro has one. No, they're fine. Does DK not have one? He does not have one. Ouch. Well played, VP. They convince Duza not to go for Roche.
In the meantime, we do have BKBs ready upon everybody that you just mentioned, or at least both. Spirit Breaker and Dragon Knight as well. At least they have them in the inventory. We could look to grab them whenever the courier is off duty. And I think with that, we're gonna see them, if not going for Roshan, they're gonna try to make something happen, because they are a team that knows that they are under pressure, and they normally are able to take fights or find fights, even if they're maybe not favorable for them. They find fights. VirtusPro is ready for them though. They have got the drums up. They've got Doom with the start of the Assault Caress there. He already has got the mechanism in the Vlad, so he has got that aura from the armor. That helps a lot. We've got Puck building towards the Scythe of Ice. He has got only the Ultimate Orb though. And then Naga Siren is actually...
But he's only about 1400 off, right?
Yeah.
My concern is that this timing with Duza having their BKBs and VP's primary threat still being Puck is a very, like, it's not a favorable position for VP, right? Because PL is not there yet. In fact, he's not even in the neighborhood of there. He hasn't even heard of the place that is there. Like, he's so far off where he needs to be to contribute. And so I don't know that they can take... Oh, are they really doing this?
Yeah, they really want to have G.
Just taken Roche. This is so overly cheeky.
They... Oh, blink away in time. G is stuck though.
Silly.
Can they actually find him? Nope.
No.
TP's out. Oh, the bird just flew over it.
Silly. They should have just taken Roche.
They really wanted to get a kill.
He's charging the Lina illusion. Okay. Alright.
They just are looking for blood. You can see like the sense that they're in. They know that they have to keep the pressure on, have to get kills. But they're a bit too trigger happy at this point, I guess.
They really have to Roche now, because they wasted half of a Dragon Knight ultimate for that.
Yeah.
I would just... I still don't think VP can contest their Roshan, so just take the Roche.
They're hanging around there,
They're playing
though. They've
so
got the
safe.
song. With the song, they might actually be able
song.
to do it.
It's true. But the killing Puck won't save your song, honey. Yeah, they're gonna try to trap Goblak, which is smart. It's gonna be tricky. I mean, here's the thing, Shiver. Once they get Roche low, Dragon Knight and Spirit Breaker should just BKB as they kill it, and the song doesn't really matter.
It's the first BKB charge, though. They
we
rather
go.
want to take a fight with it. Then comes a vacuum inside the wall. Song is still there, though, but BKB turned on by Legion. His Dragon Form already ended. Is he still able to kill off Resolution? No, with the Scorched Earth, he is gonna be too fast. Dragon Knight has to back off, but the rest of VirtusPro, why did they not back off during the song? Nice Laguna Blade up on MIB, but he doesn't die from it. Another Ice Path there, up on Goblak, up Light of Heaven. Dreamcoat coming in from G. Tries to make something happen. It's already Light of Heaven that is dying as the first one there. As we've got the Puck trying to do something here on the top lane, but he also is forced back. There's only one kill in this fight, with a lot of BKBs used. A lot of ultimate use as well. But in the end,
the song is gone.
Yeah, in the end, the fight goes the way of Duza, purely because they get the Roshan after it. Or will they?
G can still try to steal it, yeah. It's not actually trivial, because Goblak will Riptide once these illusions are in, and that's going to do good damage. Ah, nope, he doesn't. Okay, yeah, they take the Roche. I don't see G stealing this.
Nope, this is going to be too late. Spirit Breaker already got the Aegis. They know where NS is. The Ice Path doesn't clip him, though. NS runs forward, force stop forward. Dual Breath is still there. That's going to be a kill. Dragon Knight with the Breathe Fire. Last hit on NS.
Cool thing about Space Cow, if you try to Ghost Scepter against him, his spells, which do a lot of damage, do even more damage to you. So, like, sure, you avoid auto attacks, but just with Nether Strike, he can one-shot you almost.
Yeah, oh, wow.
Unstable.
Ice Path, on
Oh,
Resolution.
that's
In comes G with the Silence, up on 3. Resolution, though, can he actually make something happen here? Legion already gets doomed up, but he's still in Dragon Form, so it's still gonna hurt like hell. Garpron with another kill added to the board. G is able to get himself away inside the forest. They're still chasing down Goblak, though. In comes a charge. Goblak will end up going down. Light of Heaven might be next. They know where he is. The dust gets popped, but he's already gone. 2 heroes dead again on the side of VirtusPro. None dead on the side of Duza. They're 18 to 12. We've got the gold graph. This time, I mean, it's been around 3 to 4k in favor of Duza, but this time it's actually going up a bit further towards the 5k, and probably even more if they end up taking this tower. And the experience graph shows it more the way I think we feel it is. Just high up in favor of Duza. Force that forward into a Dragon Teal. Light of Heaven will be the target. Light Strike Array trying to help out. MIB still very low. The Aegis got popped. The Light of Heaven still dies. That's a worthy trade. Well, is it actually still a worthy trade? I mean, it's still a Phantom Lancer with lower net worth than a Visage. Well,
it's fine, because as long as you keep Phantom Lancer in a position where you basically have a 5v4, it's okay. I thought that they'd actually take the tier 3, so it's a shame that they didn't. Oh, maybe a better trade for
and
VP
Snare still up on Caprano. They might have just baited this out.
What a
Here
vacuum.
comes a vacuum. Dreamcall still there from G. Tries to do something here, but the ice bath catches 3. 2 already
What a
dead.
vacuum.
Third one dead. 5 dead on the floor. And GG called. VirtusPro, they tap out. They go to 6 losses in StarSeries.
Yeah.
Duza get themselves another win added to the board. Impressive play by them. And this is why we say that Duza is a team to watch out for.
I don't mean to be too much of a jerk about this, but like if you're gonna switch drafters,
You're a jerk about it.
The tri-lane that they composed here was really weak.
You're a jerk about it. Sorry.
Like, the Lina and Phantom Lancer picks to fill out this draft, like, what? I kind of get Lina. I kind of also don't. But I certainly don't, like, the odds of the Phantom Lancer, Nagasar, and Lina standing up to the Space Scout tri-lane were like, I don't know. Anyway, Duza are really good.
Yeah.
I love this team, dude. This team's so good.
I know.
And Spirit Breaker, he would have built the Ags, but he didn't.
We'll never find out. We'll never find out.
We'll never find out. But seriously, like imagine that last fight with that amazing vacuum. Imagine if that was with a Nether Strike. That's like a team wipe. That's like 2 Ravages, right?
True.
Like that's legit.
By the way, for people wondering, I was joking for the Scotty, but I figured you already got that one. I still would have hoped him to build it just to
Were
prove
people
me
talking
right.
about Scotty?
Yeah, people were actually like flaming me for it. It's like, wait, did you not get that was a joke? Do you not get sarcasm? Sorry, people, I just flamed you as a joke. I don't mean to.
We
You're
were
very
both
cute
joking. It was obvious that he would have gone Bloodstone.
Yep.
The...
I know, Bloodstone and Spirit Breaker, that's how it works. We're gonna have another game between 2 teams that are, well, one is maybe more in favor of the other. I don't know for sure if that's the case anymore, but I think a lot of people are expecting Fnatic to take the win off Poseidon, but also a team that you cannot underestimate. Poseidon is a very strong team at the moment, and I'm hoping for just a great game of Dota, and I think both of those teams can definitely bring it. So we're gonna have another game of StarSeries. It will be Fnatic versus Poseidon, and it will be game 3 of day 17 in season 7 of StarLadder StarSeries. So let's jump ourselves out of this game and into the next one. We'll be right back with more Dota 2.